cult of Hasan Abi. Improving American prosperity, let's say. Like, if I were to describe to you Chinese terms by swapping out the word Chinese with American and swapping out the word communism with capitalism, 90% of the people in the show would be like, that's fire. I love that idea. I love that concept. Like, American prosperity is something that we should care about, right? Prosperity of Americans, the overall benefit of the entire citizenry. No matter how poor they are, no matter how rural they are, there's an issue in America with like rural hospitals. There's an issue in America with infrastructure. We are not spending enough money on our infrastructure. We're not fixing our infrastructure. That would greatly benefit the American economy, and it would genuinely improve the material conditions of every American citizen, right? Another effort with American prosperity could be in the form of a voluntary donation made to the state. Let's say you speak out against the state. You say, hey, this country fucking sucks. I hate this country. It's the worst country ever, you say, as a billionaire who has robbed the American people blind, okay? And then the American government could come to you and say, oh, yeah, that's really cool. Come on, let's take a quick trip real quick. And then you're disappeared for like 3 months. And then you come back whenever the American government decides that you're supposed to come back. And all the while in that process, they've asset stripped your company. They've made you fucking forcibly sell your mega yacht as an American billionaire. And if your company is like slated to go under, let's say your company has made some crazy real estate decisions. You're a real estate developer, okay? And your company is on the verge of bankruptcy. So much so that you, as an American businessman, go to your fucking American workers and say, hey, we are going to take money from your pockets right now to be able to at least pay off a piece of the debt that we have. Then the American government steps in and says, fuck no, you're not doing that in order to show us, the American government, that you truly are genuinely interested in getting out of this debt, getting out of this rut, and fixing the problem that you have created. We are going to make you personally asset strip your own artwork to the tune of millions of dollars. We're going to make you sell your mega yacht, which is worth hundreds of millions of dollars, in order to pay at least some of the interest of this debt back. Okay? I feel like no one would say no to that, right? Every single thing that I just mentioned to you literally happened in China. Okay? Every single thing that I just mentioned to you, all the way down to the Chinese prosperity concept, which is something that continues to run the Chinese engine, the Chinese government. They are not great. On a lot of issues, okay? They are certainly awful when it comes to they're certainly not great, and I would say awful when it comes to, for example, monitoring the every individual citizen to the best of their ability. It's hard to do regardless, but they still find a way to do it. They're awful when it comes to information, what kind of information that you are able to see. There's a lot that they do internally that I disagree with. But as far as I understand, most people are just like, if you're not watching fucking Falun Gong or whatever, or Falun Gong propaganda, most people that live inside of China, inside of Chinese borders, who do have legitimate concerns, but beyond like having normal legitimate concerns with your government, who doesn't have concerns with their government? Let's be real. We talk about all of our concerns with our government here in the United States of America every day. They understand that as long as you keep your head down, the government is looking out for you. Don't disrupt the process. The government is going to look out for you. And ultimately, they have delivered results. So it's an inarguable results. Impossible to argue against the results that they have delivered. In the sense, I mean, when you consider how much they have improved the material conditions of every single person that was in abject fucking poverty only a couple decades ago. American capitalists or Western capitalists love talking about how capitalism has brought so many people out of poverty, delivered fortunes to so many people, billions of people that used to live in abject poverty. Without China, that metric is awful. That metric literally shows that capitalism, with the exception of China, has only delivered more death and destruction to the rest of the world. Straight up. They love shitting on China while simultaneously reaping the benefits of Chinese improvement when they talk about their metrics. Metrics that are already like fundamentally flawed to begin with. Anyway. Bro, authoritarianism is never justifiable. That much is true. But what you consider to be authoritarian, or what level of authoritarianism is like going to always happen in any form of governance is where you and I have disagreements, probably, I would suspect. Now, I'm not saying that the Chinese level of authoritarianism is adequate or acceptable. I'm not saying that at all. But I do believe that if you look at it from like an anarchist perspective, all matter of states is going to have unjustifiable hierarchies. They're going to always reinforce unjustifiable hierarchies. They're going to do governance. Governance is authoritarian inherently. Okay? Depending on how fucking anarchist you are, showers could be considered an unjustifiable social construct that is being reinforced by capitalist society. They want you to be clean. They want you to be presentable. You know what I mean? Anyway, let's continue with Tucker Carlson. Fox's war on the woke mind virus.
This is a virus. It's infectious. It destroys your brain.
Almost every corner of our society is now sort of being infected with some of this wokeness.
When woke infects something, it spreads its tentacles.
We are seeing a woke ideology spread like a disease.
The wokeness is very potent.
Look, this is, I don't disagree with this. Where is it? Hold on. Before we move on, last thing about the China conversation. Where is it? The economic system of state capitalism, if that's what you want to call it, has objectively been hugely successful system over the Western style imposed on the third world. Yes. That engine also runs with nationalistic fervor. That is the downside of such. That is the legitimate downside of it. Okay. Like, you have to be a little bit of a Han supremacist in order for this to like work out, because there needs to be some kind of like additional, I guess, spiritual glue that is idealistic and not inherently materialistic for it to work in the sense that in the way that it does. Okay? Something has to make people go, you know what? I feel like we're prospering together, and that's working. The fuck are you on about Han supremacy? It's not Han supremacy necessarily, but it's just like, okay, let's just say nationalistic supremacy. Like, we're all in it together. We're all working together. If you think that like the average Chinese person is considering like uplifting the working class globally, you're out of your mind. That's not the goal. If that was the case, then they would not be already shifting their resources over to other developing nations in an effort to ensure that they still have a decent profit margin for their manufacturing that they've set up so far. It's just, that's how it is. Ultimately, though, if you are looking at it, I do agree that the state is not an infallible institution, and there aren't any like adequate safeguards. Okay, there aren't super adequate safeguards against like a government that could decide to be like super corrupt and not actually take care of its citizens. And then the only safeguard in that regard, and this is something that Slavoj Žižek talks about, is if you are there's two different methods of control. You have the neoliberal method of control, and then you have the more authoritarian method of control, right? But in the authoritarian structure, in the authoritarian information dissemination, you always understand that the state is basically controlling you. You get it. You recognize it. In the neoliberal structure, you don't understand the state is controlling you. You don't understand that capitalist interests are controlling your lives, and you have this level of freedom, or this level of perceived freedom, if you will. Okay? So the downside of the authoritarian, if you want to consider it that, the authoritarian level of control comes with people understanding that there is always that arm of the state that's holding you down. So when the state fucks up and the state decides not to genuinely improve your lives, and then you lose confidence in the state, like many Americans have lost confidence in the American state under the neoliberal methods of control, okay, you rise up and you rebel and you burn shit down. In the neoliberal method of control, when you lose confidence in the state taking care of you, you don't do anything with that anger. There is no mechanism because you don't even know that you're being controlled to begin with. That's the difference. Now, I'm not saying one is better than the other. I don't think. But if your concept is that like no such control should ever exist, well, there has never been an institution. There's never been a form of cohabitation, no form of organizing, no form of governance that has destroyed that form of control. It's going to happen whether you recognize it or you don't. Historical teleology shows a trend towards more centralized systems being able to solve an even more complex problems. Just like capitalism came out of the failure of feudalism to deal with more complex crises, state capitalism is slightly more able to deal with modern complex crises. Yes. And if you want to be super, super, super charitable, then the state does not get destroyed overnight, but it ceases to exist when there is no need for it, I guess, which is why communism is supposed to be a stateless, classless, moneyless society. The end goal, if you will, I guess, that you finally get to after a transitional state of socialism. Communism is not stateless. I mean, it's borderless, so what the fuck are you talking about? What is a state without borders, money, anything? The way that you understand states would not exist under communism. If it's borderless, if it's moneyless, and if it's classless, then it's technically stateless. You can have the concept of a state if you want to have like a different flavor around it, but ultimately it would not exist. Anyway. Now we're going to get to Fox's war on the woke mind virus, though. I think that's more fun to cover than anything else. All right, let's do it.
Woke mindset virus.
The wokeness, this is all we should be talking about.
Californians are getting woke.
Yeah, I'm in a woke city here.
Small towns are under siege from left-wing wokeness as well.
The woke sensibility has everybody on the run.
Woke celebrities are coming out in droves. Neil Young, so woke, he actually canceled himself.
Colin Kaepernick, LeBron James, all of them are super woke.
Actor David Schwimmer is getting majorly woke.
Apparently he caught the brain virus and went completely insane, became woke, and then became bloodthirsty.
We're woke out of our minds.
Vomiting out every woke platitude.
Eating each other alive because people aren't woke enough.
The woke monster is here, and it's coming for everything.
Cinderella, they've given it a big woke makeover.
Minnie Mouse going woke. She's going to be wearing a pantsuit.
And James Bond gets a makeover from the woke left.
You make a woke little 007, men won't turn in. We are attracted to other masks.
I mean, this is what you talk about if you don't have state propaganda be like the primary mode of information dissemination. You know what I mean? This is how do you look to this and go, wow, this is like, I mean, there's a specific purpose for this. Okay? And by the way, for the record, for those of you who don't know, and this might come as a surprise to many, I differ from a lot of other Marxists and socialists because I do believe that the neoliberal methods of control are more permanent and ensure stability. It's true. People need coffee. People need coffee beans. You know what I mean? You just got to supply them with that. You got to supply people with the notion that they have freedom. Stability for whom? Stability for systems to exist. Yes, commodity consumption is better at satiation of a population than direct threats. Abso-fucking-lutely. If you want to convince someone, it's better to make it seem like they came up with that idea on their own than it is to tell them what to do. That is the neoliberal dad, communist dad, I guess, argument. It is better to make people feel like they came up with the idea. And if your end goal is to try and get someone to do something, okay, then it is infinitely better and more sustainable to build a system around making people feel like they have freedom. What the fuck? What good is socialism if it does not give you jalapeno poppers? Is my take.
Figures.
And American Boy Scouts are the next to go woke.
Professional sports have gone fully woke.
Major League Baseball did some woke virtue signaling.
I think the NFL wants to convey to us, listen, we're woke. We think a lot of our fans are racist.
The NBA is supposed to be this woke league. Should the average American be upset about this? Absolutely.
The Olympics are getting off to a woke start.
But what's going on with the wokeification of NASCAR?
And who knew golf balls could be woke?
Halloween going from trick or treat to woke and weak. The left is redefining Thanksgiving with the big old serving of wokeness.
The woke left will not stop, even on Christmas.
Not even a toy Nerf gun is acceptable according to this woke mall Santa.
Wokeism is like a religion, and that it is on a culture clash with Christianity.
They supported riots and worshipped wokeness.
The woke mob is a cult.
The woke mob is never satisfied. They always want more scalps.
What's so scary about the woke mob how often you just don't see them coming.
Woke vocabulary infecting every corner of our culture.
It's not French fries anymore, it's woke fries.
They've been woke with the emojis for a long time.
Finally, your autocorrect now going woke.
We need to evolve and change our language in order to satisfy the woke warrior class.
It's wokeism.
The hyper woke.
The ultra woke.
Uber woke.
The woke karate.
The wokers.
The woke folk.
The woke-topians.
Those wokesters.
Wokeaholics.
Wokeristas.
Woke gone wild.
You know, woke is
Super wokeness. So what does this pushing for woke get for schools?
Schools have been infected with an extremist woke ideology.
Woke story time.
The so-called woke math movement.
Reading, writing, and wokeism.
Woke school policies are literally getting our children raped.
We call it woke grooming.
You now have all these, woke kids coming out of high schools and colleges that have been taught to hate America.
The new, younger, woke generation that just thinks they should be able to attack and mock anybody.
This woke 18-year-old spotted her own mother in a viral video taken outside the January 6th riot. Her daughter then called her out in a tweet.
A victim of the woke internet.
How fucked up? How fucked up of her daughter? What has America come to that you can't even fucking go and do an insurrection without your bitch ass daughter calling you out, dude? That's fucked up, man.
Employees, they have lost all touch with reality.
There are woke people behind the screen at Facebook.
These little woke snowflakes in San Francisco working at the Twitter headquarters.
I do love that, like, conservatism revolves around this, like, inherent fear of change. Where, like, you're this big tough guy, right? You present yourself as this, like, big tough guy, but then you're, like, also shitting your pants and pissing every time you think about, like, existence in big cities. And these guys have basically created this, like, weird propaganda where they're crying all the time. Like, literally, non-fucking stop. They're just like, my daughter don't want to talk to me no more. Like, that's like 90% of their fucking propaganda. How is that anything different than, like, being a fucking snowflake, dude? You're pissing and shitting your pants because you saw, like, a rainbow-colored flag. You've lost your fucking mind. You are so insanely sensitive. In a weird way, instead of going in the other direction and being, like, extra fucking aggressively and overtly racist, right? They're just constantly fucking complaining about how progressive things have become over and over and over again, and how triggered they are by what they perceive as, like, society changing.
Workers across the country have waged war on their bosses.
So many big companies have become captive to their employees, these woke employees.
Woke corporations are caving to the left. So-called woke companies like Ben & Jerry's ice cream.
The woke companies, Apple, MasterCard.
Walmart is going woke.
M&M's going woke.
Microsoft playing to the woke crowd. There's another brand name slurping from the woke trough, Mr. Potato Head.
And still ahead is Coke Too Woke.
They believe in cancel culture. They believe in woke everything. They don't seem to believe in capitalism.
Woke capitalism. That's the focus of tonight's angle.
BlackRock, it's one of the largest investment firms in the world. They've gone full woke.
Wall Street going woke.
This woke investment strategy.
Yeah, the left doesn't like fake woke rainbow capitalism either. It's just bullshit. It's nothing. It's meaningless. It's marketing. That's the difference between me and, like, these motherfuckers. I understand it's marketing and I move on. I joke about it and I move on. These guys make it their entire world and make it seem like it is genuinely changing society. It's like, no, it's not, man. Calm the fuck down. Like, when you say Amazon is doing woke leftist agenda, or, BlackRock is gone woke now and they're actually leftists, you're a fucking idiot. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
That's going too far.
For these banks, it's a problem. They are super woke, and they're like 2 seconds away from freezing your checking account if you're a Republican.
President Biden made it clear today he'll be...
Like, at this executive level, what bank has, like, liberal woke people in charge.
Be a woke president.
He's gone full wokerista.
Biden's woke Washington, it's not going to end well.
Now we see the wokeification of the Department of Defense.
Biden's woke State Department.
Now NASA has gone woke.
It's scary when you hear the Federal Reserve go woke as well.
Meanwhile, the Biden DOJ is bringing the woke crusade to America's police departments.
It means a woke militia policing our cities, enforcing Democratic Party orthodoxy.
As all this is happening, the Pentagon is more concerned about being woke than about preparing to kill our enemies.
The West Point Military Academy is going woke.
The Secretary of Defense is forcing wokeness training on everybody on active duty.
Raytheon, biggest defense contractor, one of in the world, they're going woke. The people that are building missiles to kill our enemies are now woke.
And this slippery slope towards military wokedom continues tonight.
I think this is when you're supposed to understand that this doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? Like that, it's got to be this. This has to be the point where like some people got to be like, all right, you lost me. Like I get that Disney's gay, you know, because it's always been gay. I get why they're woke, right? But when you start talking about the American military being woke and that like Raytheon is now Gaytheon, it's like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? We're doing war crimes, but in a gay way. We need to stop it.
Continues new tonight.
This crazed woke approach to everything.
Woke politics.
Woke diversity consultants.
Woke prosecutors funded by George Soros.
Woke critics on Rotten Tomatoes.
Woke lady superheroes.
Woke immigration activists.
Woke mayors.
Woke anti-Semitism.
Woke movie remakes.
Woke library displays.
Woke bail reforms.
Woke time capsules.
Woke protesters.
Woke nonprofits.
Woke economics.
Woke media.
Woke generals. Woke judges.
Woke comedy.
Woke, etc.
Woke journalists.
Woke scientists.
Woke millionaires, woke billionaires,
Woke HR department.
Woke CEOs.
Woke Oscars.
woke newsrooms,
Woke publishers.
Woke Hollywood.
Woke music.
woke dating.
They're all extreme. They've all been infected by the woke virus.
Okay.
How do you know if you're woke if everyone's woke?
For those unfamiliar with the expression,
Brilliant.
the Urban Dictionary defines woke as being aware and knowing what's going on in the community.
I've got mad street cred now. Faux shizzle. That's cool.
Community.
Woke was originally supposed to be just being aware of social issues, social justice issues.
I admire it now. Now I think I'm going to be pro-woke.
America is waking up. Perhaps we are even woke.
We're
I think
both
you're
woke. You and I are both woke.
I think you're woke.
Woke, woke, woke.
Uh-oh. The woke mind virus is one.
We gotta be woke.
The woke movement could be the next great U.S. export.
You know, we've gone totally woke here. That's all I can say.
I'm learning from my millennial woke peers.
You're exactly right.
And what you just said to me on camera, that is systemic racism.
Was the woke a response to you because you had the politically correct?
Woke means you're a loser.
Right.
Everybody ultimately loses with woke.
I think we're almost coming out of a woke coma.
Pendulum is swinging the other way.
Wokeness pervades and gets into all of these systems in a very weird way.
Woke destroys the internal organs.
Suffering from an incurable brain disease called wokeness.
This woke mind virus.
Woke cancer. Rapid onset woke dementia.
You are so woke that your brain just falls out of your head.
If masks protected you from a woke mind virus, would you wear a mask?
The problem is woke.
Woke re-education camps.
A joyless woke dystopia ruled by grim martinets like Kamala Harris.
Wokeness will destroy this country.
If it wasn't for the woke, we would have no content. Woke people, stick around.
No, it's not. I don't think it's Vic Berger who made this. All right. Updates on Andrew Tate. Ladies and gentlemen,